All right, and we're back. So we want to talk a little bit about the configuration 2. So configuration 2 is a lock-like configuration 1, except now we have two cameras. The idea behind having two cameras is to allow one camera to focus on the target, the other camera to focus on the archer. And again, because we are now going to put two video signals into one device and we're going to send that device to the transmitter, we're now going to be able to see through picture-in-picture on our phone both target and archer in one video output. And so I want to walk you through that. And as you can see here, there's some things that are the same. We have a few new things. And I call this the dual video setup because it has a few extra components that are specific to the dual video. But let's just look at some of the things we're familiar with, right? So we have the camera. We have two cameras now. Two charging cables, two adapters, two HDMI. So two of everything in the video transmission front. We still have our HDMI transmitter. We have our connector cable powering the transmitter. We have that. We still have our battery. The great news is that battery can now run two cameras and the transmitter as we've done before, and there's no substantial issue or power impact. We can still run that for about 4 hours. That's not an issue. Now we have to start looking at how are we going to make those two videos work? And so what I've done is I've added a couple more things. So we've added another battery. This battery is going to power the transmitter. This transmitter is I keep saying transmitter, but it's going to power the splitter. And this splitter, as you can see, it has inputs for 4 different devices and then an output. It has a barrel power cable. This device doesn't come with a barrel to USB-C or HDMI, but it will. You can replace that and actually use an HDMI, a USB, a USB-A or a USB-C connector. So once you plug that into your splitter, you can plug it right into the battery. But it doesn't come with that natively. It normally comes with a plug-in, something to plug into the wall. It needs its own battery pack because it does consume quite a bit more power output, and if you try to share it with the others, this device doesn't play well with the others. So that's that. We also need another device. So in the first video, I showed that there's two configurations. One configuration is close set. The other configuration is a bit of a drop. For this setup, we're going to use the drop and the close set. We're going to put them on the same grip that goes on that, so I'll show that in my next video. But this is going to hold the splitter. So we're going to actually mount this to our tripod separately. So we're going to do that. We have the remote for the tripod, the power cable for the tripod, but and then we still have to mount the cameras, right? And so if you've noticed on the cameras that I have over here, you'll see that they're already on their tripod heads. And so that's important because we're going to put both those tripod heads on this rail, and we're going to mount this rail to the tripod. So this is going to go on the tripod directly. This rail is going to go on that, and then we're going to have both cameras on the far ends of that. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get things set up. I'm not going to spend the time on the video to hook up some of the basic stuff, but just like I did with the last video, we will talk about how to build this stuff together. But what I want to do is I'll show you how this gets added to the tripod. I'll show you the configuration of having both the cameras set up on this device here, and then we'll just mount it directly onto the tripod, and then we will work towards adding the battery packs and things like that. So I think that's enough for this video. It just kind of shows you some of the equipment that we're going to use. Most of it's the same, a few things are a little different, and then we'll walk through, kind of set up everything and get it all connected. Okay, we'll be back.